Hi, welcome to Community Foundation Focus. I'm Karen Wendelin, the Executive Director of the Piqua Community Foundation. Each time we do one of these programs on Channel 5, we try and focus in on one activity or one event sponsored by the Piqua Community Foundation. But for any viewers who'd like more information about the foundation and other things we do, I can refer you to our website, piquacommunityfoundation.org. You'll find all kinds of information there. And there's also a direct link to my email. So if you have a question that's not answered, you can just click on the Contact Us link, leave me the message, and I'll get back to you. In addition, you can always call us. The office phone number is 615-9080. So we hope to hear from you if you have any questions. The Piqua Community Foundation is a nonprofit organization that's been active in Piqua since 1993. And our mission is twofold. It's to encourage charitable giving that will benefit people in our Piqua area and to provide a variety of different ways that donors can meet their goals when it comes to giving back to the community. And today I have with me John Hinsch, and John and his family are a perfect example of the second part of that. They're donors who came to us with a goal that they wanted to meet in terms of helping to give back to our Piqua community. So welcome, John. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Karen. Glad to be here.
Well, I think we might as well just start off at the very beginning. What kind of goals did you and your family have when you came to the Community Foundation to talk about setting up this new fund?
Well, you know, my parents, Scott and Margaret Hinsch, longtime residents of Piqua, were tremendous parents to my sister Linda and I. But what they also showed both of us, the importance of giving back to the community that you live in, which of course was Piqua for most of their lives. And so my sister and I, my father passed in March, this past March, and we wanted to honor their lives somehow, and so we came up with the concept. They were such great volunteers, maybe we should find a way to recognize and encourage volunteerism in Piqua, Ohio.
Well, and those of us who knew Scott and Margaret, I know, are so happy about this idea because they were so active in the community. Maybe for those who didn't know Scott and Margaret, we'd like to talk a little bit about just the kind of things that we're talking about that they helped with.
Well, Dad, I think both my parents had one major effort. Dad was, for 49 years, he was on the, he was a board member and a longtime president of the Piqua Memorial Hospital, which obviously turned into the Upper Valley Medical Center. For 49 years, he was a director and on the board of trustees. He also helped establish the Miami County Society for Crippled Children in 1947, which has become Easter Seals recently. Was very involved with the Edison State Community College Nurses Program, and longtime board member and trustee of the Piqua YMCA, which now, of course, is the Miami County YMCA. There were many other things. He certainly helped with Little League Baseball. He was my coach a few years. For my mom, Margaret, she was on the Flesh Public Library for 43 consecutive years. And her second and most important thing, I guess, because Linda was a Girl Scout, a lifetime dedication to the Girl Scout program, both locally and regionally, by being on the Dayton board. She was the charter president of Nicklin Avenue High School, and she was also the president of the PTA of Wilder Junior High School. Now they're both fields of grass, but long-time buildings and importance to the community. And so, and she was also very active with the Piqua YMCA, or I'm sorry, the Piqua YWCA, excuse me.
Well, and I knew Scott and Margaret both as volunteers with Meals on Wheels because I've been active with Meals on Wheels, and they were very regular meal delivery people for Meals on Wheels. So I know that they did many more things, but I think people will understand that's a long, long history of giving back to the community and how important that is for us. So let's take a look. You and your wife, Marcia, came to us to talk about something that you and your sister and brother-in-law wanted to do within the foundation. So you've decided, and we've worked together with you to set up some service awards, community service awards, that will be called the Scott and Margaret Hinsch Community Service Awards. How will these awards be different from other awards that we have in Piqua, like the Order of George or the Women of Excellence?
Well, you know, I think it's great that Piqua's had those two awards. those two awards to me, because I lived here a number of years, Marcia and I did, they reward a long time career of volunteerism in Piqua. You tend to see the winner having been on numerous boards, taken leadership positions in community events and so forth. And those are outstanding awards, and I know the Order of the George has been going on for an extremely long period of time. And so when Linda and I, and of course I want to mention her husband Bob Campbell, they live in Kansas City, near Kansas City. The four of us have talked, and we wanted to do something slightly different because those awards are so well known and recognized. And so we thought, what if we would honor a volunteer who works for a 501c3 organization, or one similar to that, a charitable organization that did something very special in one particular year. It doesn't take 10 or 15 years to win one of these awards. If someone does something very, very special, now they must be a volunteer. It's not for employees, obviously. But so in our first go around at this time, it'll be who did something special in the year 2015.
Right. And so, I mean, certainly not to downplay long-term volunteers because they are
Correct.
the mainstay of a community, but to look at someone maybe who's done something, maybe the organization had some kind of crisis and they helped them out of a crisis situation, right. or maybe they had to rework the main fundraiser of the year, or something just above and beyond. And that's the kind of person or the kinds of people that we're going to be looking for. When this is set up, there will be one man that will be honored with the Scott Hinsch Community Service Award, one woman who will be honored with the Margaret Hinsch
Yes.
Community Service Award. So we hope that nonprofit organizations out there are taking a look at what a great service their volunteers do and will consider nominating those people.
Right. And this is the first year, and as you know, Karen, it will take a little bit for people to get to understand it. But we're looking forward to hopefully having a lot of people nominate someone, a volunteer. And there'll be a committee that my wife Marcia will head. It'll be non-Community Foundation board members. They will not be involved. I know Karen's going to help the committee through. But there'll be four other people join Marcia who are longtime residents of Piqua, who will sort through the applications and recommendations. And I think when we're done, we'll have two wonderful stories to tell. And again, that's one of the things we want to do. We want to encourage and we want to recognize people who do special things, and they do it because they care about people, they care about Piqua, and so we're looking forward to this.
We are. So we're going to get a little bit into the nuts and bolts. Who is eligible to nominate somebody for this award?
Any 501c3 organization, or again, a related, churches and schools are traditionally not considered 501c3 charitable organizations, yet they do a lot of work in our community that is charitable. So we're looking for the leadership people, generally the executive director, a superintendent, someone who is the professional person that's running these 501c3 organizations, to nominate someone to tell the story of what they did, in this case, during the year 2015.
Right, and these will be organizations within Piqua.
Correct. We want to. My mom and dad lived in Piqua most of their life, and I've been in and out of Piqua throughout my banking career. But yes, we wanted to really benefit. We're appreciative of the Piqua Community Foundation helping us, and we want to help Piqua. It's not that we don't care about the surrounding communities, but it's Piqua. So the charitable organization needs to be located or do their primary work within the city limits of Piqua or the two adjoining townships. And
that's Washington and Spring Creek.
Yes, Washington and Spring Creek. If they're located, if the charitable organization is located there and doing the work here, then any of their volunteers are eligible. And we expect maybe a larger organization to possibly nominate two people from the same organization. An example could be the Piqua City Schools.
Certainly.
There could be someone that's doing something tremendous in one of the elementary buildings, and yet there's someone out the high school or the junior high that has done something. So it's not limited to one nomination per organization, though probably a lot of them that's what it will be. But we think that it's fair, particularly for the larger ones.
Sure. And as John said earlier, what we call the 501c3 organizations and equivalent organizations. So that includes, as you said, schools, churches, the public library,
Yes.
which is technically a subdivision of the school district in Piqua. So any of those organizations, and if any of you viewers are representatives of an organization and you're not sure if you'd be eligible, just be sure to give us a call or shoot us an email at the office. Again, our number at the office is 615-9080, and the application form that you'll be expected to fill out is available on our website, which again is piquacommunityfoundation.org. So when we talk about the application, one of the things we were really adamant about when we talked is that it would be very easy to complete. Because I know from experience, having helped with nominations for Order of George and Women of Excellence, those are relatively long and very detailed application forms. The application for the Hinsch Community Service Awards are one page. We wanted to make it easy enough for the organizations. Again, we're not looking at a Lifetime Achievement Award. We're looking at what did this volunteer do in your organization within the last year that really made a difference to your organization. So it's one page. It's very easy. We did allow for one extra page of either extra information or a letter of recommendation or something like that can be added, but that's it. We don't want it to be difficult. We want organization directors not to have to spend days and weeks putting the information together, but just to be able to say, what is it really that this volunteer did that made such a difference for your year? So that's what we're looking at. Now, in addition, I don't believe we've mentioned yet, why would an organization want to nominate somebody? What's in it for them?
Well, obviously we mentioned the fact that their organization will be recognized, and certainly that individual will be recognized. But what we wanted to do was put something back into the community over time. This is, again, the first year. And so each organization that has the winning award winner, both man and woman, that organization will receive a $1,000 unrestricted grant through our fund, through the Community Foundation. And so they can use it for anything that they would like to use it for.
And I don't know that we can emphasize that enough, because I know a lot of nonprofit organizations that come to us looking for grants. Everything now needs to be funded for project-specific costs. And sometimes organizations just need a little extra money to pay the light bill or to float the payroll until the cash flow gets better. So this $1,000 grant will go one to the organization nominating the male honoree, one to the female honoree. So there'll be two $1,000 grants that will go out from this fund to help honor those people and help the organizations that they are so connected with.
Right.
So
we also want to mention that the actual volunteers will be receiving. I've asked Temple Wood Products in Piqua. Dave Oster and Bruce Anderson are friends of mine, and I've asked them, and they're currently in the process of designing what will be a really wonderful plaque that the individual volunteers for both awards will be receiving. And then we're also going to, Karen's said that we could develop a larger plaque for the Community Foundation office, where each of the winners each year will go on a plaque and it will stay there. So once you win, you'll be forever remembered, I guess, as people review that plaque as years go by. And there is one other condition or situation. We're going to ask that the community organization can win multiple years, but once you've won this award for whatever organization a person's associated with, then the individual would be ineligible to win it again, because we want to encourage lots of people to volunteer, all ages, all sizes, all shapes, whatever, to help the community of Piqua. Community organizations add a tremendous quality of life. Marcia and I have lived in 7 different communities as we moved around through my banking career. And one of the things we learned was that one of the major differences in these communities was the ones that had active charitable organizations working to benefit the quality of life. Those communities were better, and we never lived in a community we didn't enjoy, but we saw the difference. And anything we felt we could do to help Piqua, this is what we're trying to do.
Right. Well, and with the Community Foundation, each year we have 2 grant cycles during which, again, the charitable nonprofit organizations can apply for grants. And so we do get to see some of the great projects they have, but we don't necessarily get to know the stories of the booster clubs and the auxiliaries and the volunteers that are behind some of these projects. So I think it'll help open up to us maybe a little bit different picture of some of the organizations as well. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline. As we said, this is the first year. When do the nominations need to be submitted?
Well, it's March 1st is when the applications need to be received into the Community Foundation office. And again, I want to encourage what Karen has. We're not looking for professionalism and detailed, if someone is handwriting the application, if somebody wants to put it in through a computer and scan it, whatever. We just want the story to be told. But deadline for the applications to Karen's office would be March 1st. The committee will do some work throughout the month of March. Early April, they will select the winner, and then Karen will be notifying those people, and you may want to speak more to the event, how we would publicly recognize and present the awards.
Well, I think many viewers might be aware that Piqua Community Foundation has a big event in April called Cakes for a Cause. And it is something where we have a lot of visibility within the community. It's a big event held at Miami Valley Center Mall. So right now what we're envisioning is that the committee will have made selections, and that as part of the Cakes for a Cause celebration, which is on Thursday, April the 21st, that we may actually try and have the honorees there, but at least we'll have we'll be able to announce to the community that the honorees will already have been notified, but we will have the ability to at least make the announcement at that time. And then in May, when we do our grant distribution for spring grants, we will actually make the presentation to the nonprofit organizations and the honorees that have been selected. So again, if anyone is interested on behalf of your nonprofit organization, the application and a set of just instructions and guidelines are available on the Piqua Community Foundation website. You would go to piquacommunityfoundation.org and click on the News tab. There's a story that has a picture of Scott and Margaret and tells a little bit about the whole impetus of putting this together, and then it will have the page of the guidelines and the page of the application form. So we encourage anyone who's interested or thinks you might have an idea of a volunteer in your organization to contact us through the website. If you don't have to contact us in order to get the application, it is available as a Word document right there. You can click on it, or as a PDF, I think. But we encourage anyone who's interested to think about those volunteers who have really made a difference in your organizations in the past year, in 2015. And then again, our hope is that this will go on forever, and will
that's the plan.
Be an annual event.
Absolutely.
So again, these will be the Scott and Margaret Hinsch Community Service Awards, sponsored by the Hinsch Family Fund of the Piqua Community Foundation. So we hope that people in the community get excited about this. As John said, volunteers are such an important part of our community, and the kinds of things they do behind the scene sometimes are thanked with a nod and a handshake, and sometimes not even that. But we hope this will encourage volunteers to be willing to give a little of their time, and that it will encourage nominating organizations to give that as a thanks to their great volunteers.
On behalf of my sister, Linda Campbell, and her husband, Bob, and of course, Marcia, my partner of 42 years, we want to thank the Community Foundation because we've had several meetings. In order to try to do this the best we could, it's just, you have to sit down and plan and talk about it. And so I thank you, Karen, and the board for allowing this to move forward. And we're looking forward to the well, we're in an open application period now, so
Right.
hopefully the applications will start to come in. And later this spring, we'll have 2 winners.
2 winners, the first 2. So,
All right.
so again, on behalf of the Community Foundation, thank you. This is just a perfect type project to show what we mean when we say that we try and help people with a charitable
Right.
idea to meet their goals when it comes to the community. This will be a great way to honor your parents as well as help out active organizations and honor volunteers. So it's a win-win-win,
I hope so.
I guess.
And I want to thank Channel 5 for allowing us to tell our story.
Absolutely. And I'll remind everyone again, if you'd like more information about these awards or about anything that has to do with the Community Foundation, you can always call us at 615-9080. Visit our website, piquacommunityfoundation.org. You can actually just stop in and visit me at our office, which is 126 West High Street in Piqua on the 2nd floor, Main Source Bank. So thanks, John, for being here today with us. And we invite you to tune in next time for Community Foundation Focus.